Morning and welcome to this webinar demonstrating the new dynamic CRM flow interface. I'm going to run through a quick agenda for this morning's webinar. And firstly, please note that all webinar attendees are in listen-only mode, so they can't actually ask questions out loud. As we're going, if you do need to ask questions or you'd like to ask questions, feel free to use the GoToWebinar control panel, which will allow you to log questions. As we're going through the webinar, I probably won't get a chance to answer the questions as we go, but if we leave it till the end, at the end of the webinar, I'll carry out a Q&A session and I'll go through any questions that I haven't been able to answer in the webinar, and I'll stay online for an extra 20 minutes or so for users to basically log their questions to me, and we'll try and answer them. So, going through a quick agenda, I'm going to go through introducing the new user interface. So we're going to look at a demonstration of the new flow interface within Dynamic CRM on particularly the lead and opportunity forms. We're going to look at the new Dynamic CRM iPad experience, so we can show you some screenshots of how that looks. And then I'm going to go into some considerations before enabling the new interface. We'll conclude with looking at the Dynamic CRM roadmap for the rest of 2013, and following that I'll close down the demonstration, but I'll stay online to do any Q&As, any questions that come up, and I'll try and answer them as we go. A little bit about Preact. We're a CRM independent provider that have been around since '93. It's a 20-year anniversary this year. We have the Gold Competency for Dynamic CRM, and we're a Microsoft Cloud Essentials partner, and we're one of the top 5 Microsoft Dynamics partners in the world. My name is Ian Menny. I'm one of the technical consultants here at Preact, typically delivering Dynamics CRM projects on a daily basis. So I'm just going to quick recap on the recent release to Dynamics CRM. There's a new interface for accounts, contacts, opportunities, leads, and case records. There's the iPad for the sales team interface, there's Bing Maps integration, and there's Skype integration. For Dynamics CRM Online, this new update is available now, and it just requires enabling by your CRM administrator. For Dynamics CRM On-Premise, it will be available in the next CRM platform update, which is due in Q3 this year. So for online customers, it's there, it just needs enabling. For new CRM Online customers, it's just enabled by default, but for on-premise customers, effectively, you have to wait until the update coming in Q3. We're going to look at the new interface. I'm going to run into a demonstration. I'll come out of PowerPoint and go into Dynamics CRM. So I've logged into a Dynamics CRM trial organization here. It's a newly created trial, so the flow interface is enabled by default. I'm going to go through just a simple scenario so as you can see the interface in action. In this scenario, I'm going to go and create a new lead. So in creating a new lead, I get presented with the new lead format in the new interface. I will start by filling in the standard compulsory fields based upon a new inquiry that's come in. And it was Mark Young from Sea and Salt. So effectively we can create the new lead just by filling in the standard field information on that lead form. You can see now that the new lead has been created and it's identified with the lead's name, Mark Young, at the top left-hand side. So this is the new flow interface. We've created the new record and now it comes into life in that we can use the form. We'll see at the top we have what's called the command bar. which allows us to follow. So this will post updates to this lead to a record wall. It will mean that we're following this lead. We can qualify and disqualify the lead from the command bar, and we can also press the ellipsis button to see some more options as well. So this area at the top is known as the command bar, which will offer functionality. In future updates to the flow interface, this will actually replace what's currently known as the ribbon. So the command bar on the top right-hand side, we have the header record, which is exactly the same as we have in the classic forms, but it allows us to actually edit the content in the header. So we can identify the lead source and the rating of the lead just using the update to the header record. Below the header, we have the process control. So this actually takes us through the lead qualification process that we have defined for our business. We can specify whether or not this is an existing contact or an account. In this example, Mark Young is a new contact to us. We have some field information on the left-hand side, again, which can be tailored to your needs. Typically, some of the fields you might have on the classic forms, you might want to put in to here on the left-hand side, some of the compulsory fields that might need to be added and so on. In the middle, we have the tab control. Now, the tab control allows us to summarize all of the information from the record wall and the posts into one place, and all the activities, so all phone calls, emails, and so on that are tracked against the lead are stored in this tab control, as well as the notes. So it makes it nice and simple to flick between the different areas of activity with this particular lead. And we can update. Whatever we want to write as a post. So we can update that. We can create our activities. So in this example, Mark Young has contacted us following our website, so we can quite quickly add an inbound phone call to say that Mark visits our site and would like a demo potentially. So within the interface, the whole concept of this new flow interface is that it's a flat form, and we're allowed to go in and add multiple and have multiple entry points to the form without having to have lots of pop-ups. So one of the reasons for Dynamic CRM introducing this interface is to remove the number of pop-ups that happen when you're actually working a record. So we can now add our activity, and we still have access to update the lead at the same time. We might want to add a task to arrange the demonstration, which might be a call back to that particular potential customer, and it might be due. So we can use the new tab control to quickly add new tasks, as well as complete tasks as well, using the tab control here option, which gives us the complete, and it just says that it's completed by you. So we're not having to go into the activity to complete it. We're having to go into a different pop-up as well. So this is the tab control. On the right-hand side, we have some related entity, so information. In this case, using connections, we can actually identify potential other stakeholders to this business that might be involved in the lead process. We can just click on the stakeholders option here to identify another contact and identify Janice as a stakeholder to this potential lead. We know that potentially Mark already has a CRM system with Compete ABC, so we can use the related entities on the right-hand side to quickly add and update the record. This is quite a useful feature with for existing users who have got related custom entities. You can put these controls in, and it very quickly allows you to add new related data to this lead. As we're going through the lead and updating the records, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner the disk here, which is an auto-save feature. So I've not actually had to save the record at any point. As we're going through and making changes, you'll see unsaved changes. Eventually that will turn into a saved change so that you can ignore the fact that we've made the change and just progress working with this lead. We identify that there's a purchase time frame that's quite immediate, and effectively we can then, after having some dialogue with this lead, qualify them. By clicking qualify, it takes us straight into the opportunity. So no longer do we get multiple forms popping up with the new opportunity, the new contact, and the new account, and all linked together. We just go straight to the opportunity. And the process control moves from qualify through to develop the opportunity, which is the first stage in the opportunity process defined in this organization that we're looking at. So we can identify the process control that's required for our sales cycle. It's taken across all the field information as it would do in the classic interface. It's taken across all the related posts and activities from the lead to the opportunity again, so as the sales team are fully aware of all of the dialogue and history with this lead up to now. It's taken across all of the stakeholders that we may have logged against the lead, so they've come across to the opportunity. And again, if we'd identified the competitor, that will come across. Within the opportunity, we can actually add other members of our sales team to the opportunity. So there might be a number of different users within our organization who are working this project, working this opportunity. So you can identify the sales team that you have internally that are managing this opportunity. Using the process control, we can identify some field information that we think is quite important for this opportunity. So we can use the process control to very quickly update some field information. So we can update field information. We've identified the stakeholders. We've also identified the competitors. So we can use the process control now and go into the next stage in the sales process. We can also use the top header to identify a close date for the opportunity and an estimated revenue. Again, the header information is customizable but limited to 4 fields within the header. You can switch back to Classic if you need to see more information in the header. We have some additional fields that have been identified this is a CRM trial effectively, and we can see there that as we're going through the process control and updating the fields, in the process control it's updating the fields on the forms, so it's using standard fields in CRM that we can then go and query, report on and so on. So we're building up a good understanding of what this opportunity is. When we go to the propose stage, we're given some extra questions, so identify the team that's going to be, so we've identified the sales team that's going to be progressing this opportunity, have we worked on the proposal, and we've done an internal review. So we can go through the different requirements of that particular stage of the opportunity before going on to the next stage. You can jump between stages, but only one stage is the current active stage, and use the next stage option to move back and forth between stages. But you can go in and update some of the other fields on the extra stages, but you're still in one active, effectively. The opportunity that we've got in here, we can use the ellipsis button and share this opportunity with other users. We can email a link to other users within the organization, so it makes it quite easy for them to open up. In the same way that you could in the classic form, you could copy a link or email a link. Using the form editor, we can